Good morning, boys and girls. Today is May 7th, and we'll be doing writing. We have a couple more days that we'll be finishing up on our writing. Today, we're going to be looking at writing a biopoem. You want to know what a biopoem is? A biopoem is about a biography poem. It's about the poet. It's another way of sharing who you are through poetry. And it kind of goes like this. As you can see this poem, the very first line, it says your first name. The second line is three or four adjectives that describe yourself. Then you want to talk about the important relationships. So you are the son of, or daughter of, or a brother of, or a sister of. Then you want to describe the relationship. Then you want to write two or three things you love, three feelings you've experienced in your life, three fears that you have in your life, accomplishments, two or three things you want to see happen or you want to experience in the future, and where you live. And lastly, is your last name. Here, let's go ahead and I'll give you an example. I'll write one with you. My first name is Philip, so I write down Philip. The next thing I need to do is I have to come up with three or four adjectives that describe me. So I'm funny. Um, I'm loving. Um, I like adventure. I'm kind. I'm honest. I'm going to pick four of those things that fit on that line: funny, loving, kind, and honest. I think those are good ways to describe myself. Maybe I could say adventurous as one of those instead, but it doesn't have to be exact. I think those are good words to describe myself. Important relationships. Well, I'm a husband. I'm also a father. I'm going to choose being a father. I'm going to say father of Micah and Jeremiah. So here, I'm going to say I'm father of Micah and Jeremiah. The next line is two or three things you love. That's a good one. What do I love? I love the outdoors. I love mountains. I love the beach. I love scuba diving. I love skiing. There's lots of things I love. I'll pick three things, and I'm going to say mountains, beaches, and you may not know this, windy days. I love windy days. Even in Saudi Arabia, when it's shamali outside, I love windy days. Feelings you've experienced. Oh, I've had so many feelings. I've had heartache. I've had loss when my mom and dad both died. I've had a lot of sadness, but those are all like kind of depressing. So I'm going to focus on some good feelings I've had. I've experienced love, friendship. I got it. Love, joy, and peace. Those are some important things I've experienced. And those are the positive things those are those positive feelings I've experienced. And the next one brings up my fears. Ooh, there's some things I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of scary animals. I don't like snakes. I don't like sharks. Um, yeah, let's do that. I also don't like tight places. I claustrophobic. Being in a small, tight space for long periods of time is uncomfortable, and I don't feel like I can breathe. I like to be in the open. I like to be outside. So I put down tight places, snakes, and sharks. Those are some things that scare me. And when I think of snakes, I'm not thinking of like ground snakes. I'm thinking of sea snakes. Okay. I like to scuba dive, and I tell you, sometimes when you're scuba diving and you see a sea snake swimming by, I know that one bite from a sea snake and you die. There's no, and sharks, they have those teeth. I don't want to get bit by a shark. They scare me. So, yeah, snakes and sharks. The accomplishments, I think my biggest accomplishments is being a dad. So I say fatherhood. That means being a parent. That's one of my biggest accomplishments. Two or three things you want to see happen or experience. So in the future, what are some things I want to see happen or experience? That's a good question. Safari. I've been on a safari before, but I want to go on a walking safari, a safari where I see the animals in person, face to face, not from a buggy or a truck. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I love football. And I also want to see my son's wedding. My son's wedding, both of them. So I put plural for son's wedding. Not my son, but both my son's wedding. And you know where I live. I live in Saudi Arabia. And you know my last name is Mr. Yates. I found a couple other bio poems for examples. I have this one here from Roshan. Roshan is hyper, athletic, talkative, and fun. Son of Jay and Asma, lover of family vacations and good books, who feels excited, energetic, and happy, who needs weekends, good books, and family, who fears failing a test. Probably his parents are very strict. Bad things happening. Yeah, when you fail a test, bad things happen. To my family and no electronics. Who gives ideas, laundry, and dirty dishes. Those are the things. Okay. Who would like to see Neptune, Julian Edelman, and Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii is a great place to see. Residents of Needham and Pillai, I think is his last name. But that's a really good bio poem. You have a couple different formats for bio poem. The other format we have looks like this. It has a blank space on top. And what is that blank space for? Yes, it is for your name. So we want to put our name on the very first line, and then we want to have below the name 4 adjectives that describe you. 4 adjectives that describe you. Then the line after that is a relationship, like father of, or son of, or mother of, or daughter of, that describes you. Then who loves, who feels, who fears, who accomplished. And so here's kind of an example of Philip, funny, loving, kind, honest, father of Micah and Jeremiah, who loves long walks with close friends, who feels always, who feels always, who feels, that's not a good sentence. Let me change that. I'm sorry about that. I want to say who feels and cares about family. Who fears dark, murky water? You know what's in dark, murky water? Sharks. That's what's in dark, murky water, sharks. When you're doing your poems, you can be creative. Here's Evan's bio poem, and you can see what he did here. He used colored pencils, and he brought out the different adjectives and things in different colors. So boys and girls, I want you to really show me your personality, show me who you are through your bio poem. You have 3 bio poems. One is different than the others. I want you to do 2 different bio poems. If you have time, do all 3 of them. And make sure you share them with me on Seesaw. Some of you have not been doing a very good job lately on Seesaw. And so I'm talking to, you know who you are. I have a couple boys that have not shared with me on Seesaw for a couple days now. You need to share your poems and share your work on Seesaw. If I don't get your work, I will be talking to your parents. So please make sure you share your wonderful poems with me so I can make sure you're doing your work. All right, boys and girls, I look forward to reading your poems, and you have a fantastic morning.